The Great Depression of the 1930s stands as one of the most harrowing chapters in modern economic history. It was a time of widespread unemployment, poverty, and despair, a period when the American dream crumbled for millions. In this extensive exploration, we will journey through the origins and consequences of the Great Depression while drawing eerie parallels to our current economic landscape, where concerns about another economic collapse loom ominously. Chapter 1. The Great Depression Unveiled, the Prelude to Doom. The 1920s were a decade of economic exuberance. The stock market was booming, consumer culture was on the rise, and it seemed like prosperity would be perpetual. However, beneath the facade of opulence, a brewing storm was gathering. In this chapter, we will delve into the intricate web of factors that led to the catastrophic collapse of the American economy. The Roaring Twenties. A brief overview of the economic climate before the crash, highlighting the era's cultural and economic trends. Stock market crash. The Black Tuesday crash of 1929 and its immediate aftermath, when the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 89% of its value. Bank failures and financial panic. The cascading effects of the stock market crash on the banking sector and the panic that ensued. Chapter 2. Descent into Darkness, the Human Toll. The Great Depression was not just an economic catastrophe, it was a humanitarian crisis. Millions were left destitute, struggling to find work and food. This chapter explores the human side of the Depression, including unemployment and breadlines, the staggering rise in unemployment rates and the long queues at soup kitchens. Dust Bowl, the environmental catastrophe of the Dust Bowl, which compounded the economic woes of the American heartland. Hoovervilles, the emergence of shantytowns, known as Hoovervilles, and the daily lives of their residents. Chapter 3. The Response. The Great Depression prompted an unprecedented government response. Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal initiatives sought to alleviate suffering and restore confidence in the American economy. In this chapter, we explore the key components of the New Deal, including the 3 R's: relief, recovery, and reform. How these principles guided New Deal policies, FDIC and SEC, the creation of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and the Securities and Exchange Commission to regulate the financial sector. Social Security, the establishment of Social Security, a program that continues to shape the American social safety net. Chapter 4. Echoes of the Past, current economic health and warning signs. As we examine the Great Depression's enduring legacy, it's impossible to ignore the parallels between the 1930s and today. This chapter takes a deep dive into our current economic health, exploring factors that suggest we may be on the precipice of another economic collapse. Income inequality, the growing wealth gap and its implications for social stability. Debt crisis, the rise of consumer, corporate, and national debt levels and their potential consequences. Job automation, the impact of automation on employment and the workforce. Chapter 5. Lessons from History. As we stand at the crossroads of history, it's imperative to consider the lessons not only from the Great Depression, but also from more recent economic crises, such as the 2008 collapse. The events of 2008 serve as a stark reminder of how swiftly economic stability can unravel, and how the echoes of past financial crises can reverberate into the present. The 2008 collapse, a near miss. In the early 21st century, many believed that modern financial systems were impervious to the types of crises that plagued the 1930s. However, the 2008 financial crisis proved otherwise. In this section, we draw parallels between the Great Depression, the 2008 collapse, and our current economic landscape, housing bubble. Just as speculative excesses in the stock market contributed to the Great Depression, the housing bubble and subprime mortgage crisis were at the heart of the 2008 collapse. Reckless lending practices and complex financial instruments led to a housing market implosion that sent shockwaves throughout the global economy. Banking crisis. The Great Depression saw widespread bank failures, and so did 2008. Institutions deemed too big to fail were on the verge of collapse, prompting massive government bailouts to prevent a complete economic meltdown. Unemployment and foreclosures. The aftermath of both crises witnessed soaring unemployment rates and a wave of foreclosures, leaving millions of families in dire straits. As we look at these two major economic crises, we must combine the insights they offer. From the Great Depression, we learn the importance of proactive government intervention, like the New Deal, to stabilize the economy and protect the most vulnerable. From 2008, we understand the necessity of robust financial regulations to prevent such disasters. A call for reform and resilience. In light of these lessons, several key strategies emerge as essential to safeguarding our economic future. Stricter financial regulations. strengthening and enforcing regulations on financial institutions to prevent the excessive risk-taking that precipitated the 2008 collapse. Responsible fiscal policies, ensuring that government fiscal policies are countercyclical, meaning they save during economic upturns and spend during downturns to stimulate growth and protect against recession. Investment in sustainability, focusing on sustainable economic practices that promote both financial stability and environmental responsibility, addressing issues like climate change and resource depletion. Enhanced social safety nets, expanding and reinforcing social safety nets to protect citizens during economic crises, with an emphasis on healthcare, unemployment benefits, and affordable housing. Conclusion: charting a new course. In the face of historical precedents and contemporary challenges, the choice before us is clear. We can either learn from history and proactively shape our economic future, or be subject to its unrelenting repetitions. The Great Depression and the 2008 financial crisis are reminders that economic stability is a fragile construct, susceptible to human folly and systemic flaws. The choice is ours: to build an economic future that learns from the mistakes of the past, that values stability and sustainability, and that charts a course toward enduring prosperity for all. In doing so, we honor the memory of those who endured the Great Depression and the lessons of the 2008 collapse, ensuring that history remains a teacher rather than a tormentor. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history and economics. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, remember, history teaches and it's up to us to learn. This was CEOseek and I'm out.